All right. Well, a few weeks ago, I was called out, and I was told to talk about resiliency, and I am really honored to do that. Um, so I'm kind of winging it. I created a few poems for this day, but in fifth grade, my Instagram bio was just chicken winging it, and if you know me, I really love chicken wings. So I'm just gonna do that. I have a story that I feel like has changed my life ever since this one man walked into my life, and I haven't seen him since, but I'm going to tell you a story about a friend I met while I was serving a mission trip in South Dakota. So it was one of my last nights there. We were really, really, really exhausted. I had built a roof that day and 2 roofs the day before. My hands were all bruised and battered, and I remember going outside on one of my last nights because the South Dakota skies are absolutely beautiful, and I can see all the stars that I've ever seen in my entire life. And so I'm sitting there in the grass, and this one guy comes up to me, and I shook his hand, and his name is Murphy, and he was a homeless Native American. And I'm definitely going to remember him for the rest of my life. We sat down and pretty much told each other our life stories, and I felt like in the matter of 15 minutes, I had known this guy like the back of my hand. He told me all the things that he's been through. I told him how much my brothers mean to me and how much my family means to me. And when I asked him about his family, he explained to me how he was the only one left. And I think in that moment, I was able to learn so much about myself than I've ever had before, and about gratitude and appreciation. And this man had one of the biggest smiles I've ever seen. He was missing a lot of teeth, and his skin was all sunburned. Don't worry, I gave him sunscreen. But he was a really amazing guy, and I just remember him being able to look up at the stars after I asked him. I was like, Murphy, how do you keep going? I told him my story about depression and anxiety and trauma I've endured in my life. And he looked up at the sky and he said, these are my brothers and sisters, and they've got a plan for me. And I know I'm always going to be able to hold that in my heart, because if that guy wasn't able to give up on himself, then he didn't let himself do that because he knew that he had it in him. And so what I took from that is that resiliency isn't beating yourself up. It's not being hard on yourself because you think you deserve it. It's knowing that you can ask for help and knowing that there is going to be more in the journey. And I explained to one of my brothers last night about how when you think you're at rock bottom, you're nowhere near as deep as you think you are. And sometimes in life, when we need to look up at the sky and see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, even if you think you've dug yourself a hole, you can always be able to ask for help and have those helping hands as a shovel so you can level that ground and create a new starting base for yourself. And that's what I've learned with my journey, that no matter how many times I refused to get up for school or was exhausted and felt so depleted, I go back to that man and that day where I met him. I never saw him since, but pretty much just how much that guy believed, and he really, really believed in his heart and had faith that there was something more to him in life than just being sorry for himself. And I think resiliency is a really humbling experience, to have that humility in yourself, to know that you're struggling and to know that you've suffered, and also to know that there's so much more to look forward to. And I think as long as we're able to keep asking for help and knowing when it's right to be able to ask for that helping hand, then I know that we're able to do anything and everything. And everyone sitting in this front row right now, all you beautiful people, I am so proud of us. I am so proud of us. It takes so much balls to be here. It really does. It Yeah, it takes a lot of courage to be an outsider and to face this world and face things that not everyone has faced, and to still wake up every day and try to have some compassion for yourself takes a lot. It takes a lot, and especially when we've been in those really low places, when being mean to ourselves or feeling like we're not worthy is the only answer. Well, I really hope that we all can continue to know that there's so much more than us, than just what we see when we look in the mirror, because we're all warriors and we've all been through so much, and everybody here right now has been through so much. So if you ever get to meet a guy named Murphy, I suggest you shake his hand.